It's no secret that we are living in a highly polarized environment right now, but a local author is asking Americans to think about the legacy we're leaving for our kids. John Olson, who also happens to be a Bloomington City Council member, joins us to talk about his new book and what he feels we all can do to move in a positive direction. Thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for the opportunity.
No problem. Not only a council member, but grandpa to 14.
Yes.
I'm wondering, did that play a role in your book?
Absolutely. I started writing the book about 5 years ago, but the reality is that the book has been tapping in on all kinds of experiences. I was a classroom teacher, an assistant principal. I've had a lot of different jobs, worked for the railroad for summer and for a farmer and that kind of thing. And all of those experiences have given me background to end up talking about how do we get back to the way of life where we talk with each other and problem solve together instead of bickering and basically throwing barbs back and forth.
I can understand that. How do we get back, trying to get back to a place where we're not so divided? The title of your book is What Legacy Are We Giving Our Kids?
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn from the children during your experience as a teacher? Were you in the classroom or in education for about 23 years?
Yes, and kids pick up things from us all the time. They're sponges, and the reality is we are leaving a legacy. And when I talk about legacy, there's a tendency, I think, at least in my mind, to have thought about it as what kinds of things, what estate will I leave, what kind of money will I leave? But the reality is a definition of a legacy goes far beyond that. It's whatever we leave for those who follow us. And so as I worked with kids in the classroom, I got to understand a lot about human nature, learned a lot from them actually, and observed how we got along well in the classroom or sometimes when things were strained. So I'm going back to basics like that from my experiences, including in the classroom, and basically saying, you know, this is how we do it, and we need to get back to that.
Are there any benefits, however, by debating? Can you find a joy in a debate or find joy in someone's differences?
Absolutely. In fact, whenever people are interacting together, a community, a family, but certainly as a nation as well, if we don't end up talking through things, we're not going to end up coming up with a good solution for us. In the chapter that I entitled The Role of Representative, I talk about the fact that I follow a credo of three things: get good information, understand all points of view, and make a decision about voting at the very end when all of that's up to date.
All right, and before we let you go, what's the most controversial issue you've had to tackle?
Well, those who follow the news in Bloomington, if you're talking about Bloomington's situation, is that we moved for organized collection of garbage, and that lasted for about 1.5 years. And it was a struggle to make sure that people were working with good information and giving a chance to those who think differently than them. And so that was a role that I needed to help play.
A role you helped play and a role where you exercise everything you talk about in this book
Right.
here. Thank you so much for
Right.
being with us.
LegacyToKids.com.
That's it. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back, and John will be signing copies of his book at the Harmer Mall Barnes & Noble in Roseville this Sunday, beginning at 2 p.m. More information about the book, as he just said, can be found at LegacyToKids.com.